This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to Born Wild, the show that takes you to the heart of wild India. It takes you up close and personal to some of India's most endangered animals and the people who help them fight for their survival. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the tiger, India's national animal, the pivotal point of all our conservation programs. It was with the realization that the tiger was disappearing from our land that conservation began in a big way in India. If today so many forests are being protected and if so many other animals have come under the umbrella of protection and conservation, it is thanks to the tiger. So come with us as we tell you the story of the tiger.
This was the outlook in 1944 when it was still legal to hunt tigers in India. A ban on hunting was introduced in 1960 when it became clear that the tiger population in the country was under direct threat. But it was not until 1973, with the advent of Project Tiger, that the tiger, the world's largest feline predator, became the most protected animal in the country. Initially, Project Tiger began with 9 parks, 14 more were to be added later. In the initial years, it seemed like a great success. Tiger numbers seemed to be up. Forests were thriving with the tiger's prey base, the deer. Rivers and lakes were full, and the tiger was the national animal. Soon numbers upwards of 3,000 were being quoted as the number of tigers in the country.
9 रिजर्व से ये प्रारंभ हुआ था। 27 रिजर्व्स हैं हमारे देश में जो 17 राज्यों में फैले हुए हैं। लगभग 37,000 वर्ग किलोमीटर के वन क्षेत्र इसमें समावेश हुए हैं टाइगर रिजर्व्स के रूप में।
But the feel-good factor shattered in the early 90s when it became evident that poaching was rampant and that hundreds of tigers had been killed. Then the more shattering realization: the forests were shrinking, water tables were falling, and the deer population, the tiger's staple diet, was also disappearing. All the dreams and work that started Project Tiger looked like it might crumble. Doomsayers had begun to predict that the tiger would not survive past the year 2000. But here we are in 2004, and the tiger populations are adequate if not healthy. But a valuable lesson had been learned. There would be no resting on laurels, and the tiger's world is a fragile one, and every day has to be spent in protecting it.
To tell the story of the tiger, we're going to travel to the various ecosystems where they're found. One, a forest like this, moist and green. Another, a tropical deciduous forest. Then one, 70% of which is underwater most of the year, which is the Sundarbans. And then all the way down south to Nagarjuna Sagar, where it's a dry deciduous forest again and a scrubland jungle. The thing is, the tiger is found in all these places, and that goes to show the amazing adaptability of the big cat. Our story begins here in Bandhavgarh. We are here to see if we can find a family of 5 in this area.
Guardi and I raced through Bandhavgarh as we had just heard a tiger had been spotted. Our first day there had not led to a sighting, and we were eager on the second to be able to see one. The first rays of the sun were gilding the forest around us as we rushed by. A female tiger, an adult, had been spotted. She was on the move in the forest, and the alarm calls made by the deer guided us to the area where she could be seen. The expectation was enormous. Soon as the breathless anticipation built, like a flash of fire out of a sparkler, she walked out of the dense undergrowth into the clearing. The first sight of a tiger in the wild is not something I find easy to describe. No matter what you have seen in zoos or in movies or documentaries, nothing prepares you to see the power and grace of this animal. It is when you realize that it's not just you, but the entire forest that is holding its collective breath to see what she might do, that it hits you. You're in the domain of a master predator. The tigress suddenly just passed behind a small growth of grass and settled, and instantly she was out of sight, her marvelous stripes hiding her completely from view in the grass. That is when you understand her design, the orange and black, perfectly blends in with the gold of the grass. As the tiger is the focal point of all of India's conservation efforts, several studies, research projects are constantly being carried out. We went to Panna to meet Dr. Chundawat, who's been studying a group of radio-collared tigers there for the last 8 years. Dr. Chundawat's study has revealed some remarkable insights into tiger behavior, dispelling and confirming many previously held theories about the big cat. We set out with Dr. Chundawat in the hope of seeing one of his radio-collared tigers. At present, there are only 2 tigers with radio collars. The radio collar consists of a transmitter which lets out a steady beep as a signal. A tracking device is used to locate the beep. A grid is formed by moving towards the beep from 2 different directions to be able to get a reasonable lock on a location. Today, the female was too deep inside the forest for us to follow her by jeep, although the signal stayed steady. Panna is a dry, deciduous forest. Blessed with a river that flows through it, hidden streams and underground springs dot several parts of the forest and act as perennial waterholes for the animals. Panna is home to tigers, leopards, deer, sambar, barking deer, cheetal, wild boars, jackals, foxes, wild dogs and many others.